want to go anywhere. I don't think I want to go anywhere because I stepped outside and it's so windy. I don't mind if it is cold, but windy.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being a part of today's show. I hope we've been enjoying ourselves because I think I have been enjoying myself. I started the enjoyment last night. No, am I right? Yes, Friday evening. So it's rolling. I hope something comes up this evening and tomorrow evening before Monday happens. Yes. Thank you very much. Welcome, everyone. And welcome to me, Time on Oche Kitchen.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm the lady of the day from Hi. Oche, with that hand carrying your jaw, how has your week been?
You see, I don't know how I managed to set myself up.
You've been walking the whole of the country.
Oh my goodness. And you know the worst thing, I was the one that challenged people last week, okay, to a work week hustle to see who gets the highest number of steps.
You didn't tell Ati, did you? Ati Jackie, are you aware of it?
Is Ati on Fitbit?
She could be on everything, no? That leg.
Okay. Okay. So I challenged the number of people, and of course I won with 110,000 steps from Monday to Friday. As I was trying to heave a sigh of relief on Sunday, from nowhere, Emeka Onyekwe challenged me.
To do how many steps?
To do another one Monday to Friday. No, Friday. They just say, they call it work week hustle to see who makes the most steps. There is no limit and there's no so I hadn't recovered from last week's own that I did 110,000 and he challenged me to this week's own.
Wow.
So I had to do again from Monday to Friday. And yesterday I did 36,000 steps. Literally, body be me like Bessie way trailer jam. So that's how my week went. I was sleeping, eating, waking up, and thinking about taking steps. It was bad. If anybody dares to challenge me this weekend, I'm telling you. But in all, and okay, my week started off on Sunday with me going downtown Toronto to see my son. And before going, I started cooking. I think on Thursday or so, I cooked up a storm. Like I went with banga soup, egusi soup, vegetable soup, rice and beans, coconut rice, fried rice, jollof rice. It was like visiting day in secondary school.
Yeah.
He was so happy because I mean, I'm here with Valerie. So, but he is in downtown because he's in school. So I had a good week.
Mommy, so you've been working and cooking at the same time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No matter what your quest is, mommy duties is 24 hours.
I tell you, well done. Nebu,
Thank
you. Can I walk down your lane? In 4 steps? How has the week been?
I've been quiet. It's been a good week. It's been nice, quiet. I'm changing jobs, so I'm doing as little as possible now.
They didn't hear
really?
that. You're on camera, you know. You're on camera, your employers will hear that. You're doing very little.
No, but I've told them that now. I've given them everything I've got, so there's nothing left. So it's been quiet, and I'm just kind of looking forward to new challenges ahead. I love November anyway, so it doesn't matter what. It's a month of enjoyment, a month of good people.
That's a month
to be merry. Yeah, a month to cruise and enjoy life. Life is sweet, Jerry. I know, saying. Yeah, so it's been good. It's been good. Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. I've got Chris. Chris, do you want to tell us how your week has been?
It's been good, uneventful, but hey, it's been
life day.
Yeah, hopefully something happens this weekend, but otherwise it's been good.
It will happen. It's still early. So you still plenty of time for something to happen.
Yeah, it will. Well, hopefully.
Even including flying into the UK. If you want to do it, you can try. Tomorrow morning we'll see you.
That's a possibility.
I tell you, I know how it rolls.
Especially after seeing what Ataiba was eating yesterday, it was like, wow.
I was there with her, you know.
Oh, really? Oh, really? That was nice. You guys
it was
really
lovely, yeah.
It was lovely.
It's nice. Chinye, I don't know where you are. I hope you're free. Can you tell us how your week has been? Is she there?
Ask Mommy.
Mommy is here. I don't know
That's
where.
what I'm saying. I said, ask her if Chinye is not forthcoming.
Mamuche. Mommy? As if she's not there. Oh, and yeah, I think that's it. For me, yeah, how has it been? It's been lovely. It started with Friday. And yeah, I've been resting because it was a busy Friday. No, but I'll tell you more. After you left me, I had another busy one. Seriously, I didn't go to bed till about 4 a.m. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I had to go to Southend to pick Mommy.
Oh dear.
Uncle Paul was here. He was meant to. He stayed back in the hospital.
Okay.
So when I wanted to book a cab for Mommy to come back after 2 a.m., there was no driver, no Uber driver, no Ola driver. I said to myself, I'm a driver. Who I be? I hit the road. Went to Southend, dropped off in Basel, then came back home. That's why I've been in bed today, resting.
Need to rest.
Yeah, I do. In the absence of any other thing, can we jump in to today's show? Today's show is an interesting one, a familiar story. It's not strange. It's everywhere these days, but what can we say? God day. So there's a short story about a man who hides his fertility problem, impotency, from the woman, his partner, while she suffers and blames herself for childlessness in their marriage. You know, sometimes they talk about guarded secrets. Some things you don't say, there are some things you say, but it's now drawing the line and knowing when to say what to say and knowing those ones that needs to be said. Either way, secret is secret. It comes out one day. Once somebody knows it, it will always come out. So the first question is, if this secret, or now that the secret is in the open, the man cannot make babies, should the couple remain together? What do you think? Chizo, I'll drop you. Chizo, can I drop you in it now?
Sorry.
Did you hear my first question?
Huh?
Did you hear the question?
Today, as though he's a gold dust.
So the story again is the man hides his infertility problem or fertility problem, which is impotency, from the partner. And this woman, over the years, suffered and blamed herself for childlessness in their marriage. Now the secret is out there, because he's not the only one that knows. God knows as well. Somebody must have let it out. should the couple remain together? What do you think?
Well, that's a very difficult question to answer. But the thing is, relationship is based on, first of all, honesty and transparency. I don't think the foundation for that relationship is really shaky from the onset. I've known people who have got difficult situations. Infertility is just one of the things people encounter in a marriage or relationship. I shouldn't be asking for people being together, not choosing not to be together. So if that situation is, for me, I think the relationship has gotten to a stage where it becomes untenable. That wouldn't be safe, because it goes. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
It goes against the. Sorry about that. It goes against being honest and transparent in relationship, which is the least expectation in every relationship. I suppose that should be the foundation. I think somebody mentioned something not exactly that in that regard about being, I think I read something in Facebook today about someone having a child and not letting the prospective husband know that she had a child, and she found out eventually just before getting married. And somebody was asking my opinion, and my opinion is, the relationship is based on lies. Dishonest relationship there are things that you cannot hold back, especially something that can alter the course of the relationship or how the people feel. People should come to each other willingly. So that's my answer.
Indirectly, you've just been diplomatic with this answer. Indirectly,
I wouldn't
put it to you that you said no.
It's a no for me. It is a no.
Yeah.
I call it disclosure, full disclosure.
Maybe small thing.
Yes.
Okay. We're getting there. Let's
can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Chizo, you know how these things are. For example, before I got married, everybody in my house knew their genotype except me. I don't know why. Okay. Then I met my husband, and by the second week, he was talking about genotype. I was so upset. So I said to him, I've not even started liking you, and you're telling me to go and run a test. He said, but I already like you. And I know that I am AS, and I can't afford to go so far, invest my emotions, and eventually it won't work.
Yeah.
Till tomorrow, I thank him for that. I was short-sighted, immature, and knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have put it that way. You understand? I mean, how dare you tell a man that you've not even started liking him? Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So at that point in time, I didn't know my genotype. And me that was claiming that I hadn't started liking him, we had the test on a Friday, and believe you me, I did not sleep.
Yeah.
I went into prayer fasting, hoping that things would turn out okay, So what if this man in question, as at when he married her, did not know about his infertility? Okay? Because there are cases like that. He may not know. Then eventually he finds out. And based on how far they've come, and based on, how much the love has grown and everything, would you still call it a deal breaker?
Before Chizoba talks about that, what you said is, assuming he finds out in the middle of the relationship. Did he disclose it? Helping Chizo, did he disclose it as soon as he found out?
No, but Chizo's response was based on a relationship that was founded on lies. So now I'm trying to remove that lying foundation. So I want to know what her stand would be if the man wasn't lying from the get-go.
Yeah, I mean, that's different. You see, at the point that this was being discussed, you were not aware. There's a difference between being unaware due to immaturity, ignorance, or just not being something you have ever bothered about. There's a difference between that. And there's another difference between that and being aware, fully aware of the repercussions of that information you hold, and you fail to disclose it. You know, when
So you will agree with me that it can only be a deal breaker based on circumstances.
Yes, it can only be a deal breaker based on Sorry about that. This voice driving me. It can only be a deal breaker based on circumstance. The circumstance being that if either party isn't aware, and at the time of them being aware, there was a full disclosure, absolutely. You know, I'll give myself as an example. Before I met my husband, where I think we met in year 1. We didn't really actually start dating until year 3. But in that time, things like that came up. We talked about things, you know, as in we were friends. We talked about things, you know.
Because you were medical students now, so those things were important to you.
we talked about
me. I wasn't even looking for husband when husband came to meet me.
So we talked about goals and aspirations. And one of the things he always said is that I am AS. And whatever it is, I really like you as a person, but you know, I know how damaging that can be if eventually you are AS. And I told him, you know, I'm an AA, but I'm not really interested in you in that kind of way. And that's how we carried it on. So actually, before we started ever going out, we did a full, you know, run a full barrage of tests. It seemed like a clinical thing to do, but I think in hindsight, I think everybody knew what. So if anything happens, we just say, you know, it's a chance, it's a fate thing, isn't it? Yeah. So I mean, at the point that one of the parties knew that this is that this could hamper or damage the relationship, be it in the future or in the immediate term, they should. Having said that, I have a friend who is AS, I'm married an AS. Now, at the time they got married, they didn't know that both of them were AS. Now, the family, I mean, I'm not going to say too much detail because I know this person is, you know, the family knew that they shouldn't get married and they objected to them getting married. I mean, in those days, it wasn't in those days. I mean, this is 2001, 2002. They got married nonetheless, and they eventually got pregnant. I had twins. It turned out to be AA, and they never had any other children. I think those children, one of them was A and the other was AS. They ended up not having any other children. So you see, they knew about it. And
so they chose
having that information at hand, they were able to say, you know what, we're going to stick together no matter what. And that's the difference. It's always good to want to be given a choice. Not having disclosed information feels like my choice on making a decision about my life has been taken out of my hands. That's the reason why I say for me, it's a deal breaker.
Bringing the conversation back, Chizo, bringing it back again into context. Oche, this is we're dealing when it is a secret.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's a secret, and the secret came out. Of course, it didn't come out by design.
Yes.
Something triggered it. Yeah. Something triggered it. So for the benefit of those that just joined us, a couple have been together. It could be boyfriend and girlfriend, husband and wife, whatever they are. And the man had fertility issues, impotency, and never disclosed it. They didn't have children in that relationship for a long, long time, and the girl was just blaming herself. Now the secret is out. Should they still be together? What's your view? Chris, do you want to say something?
Yeah. Am I echoing?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah, good afternoon. The relationship is marriage, right?
It could be, could use marriage.
Yeah, so it's more or less, depending if you're looking at it as a moral issue, but this is a legal issue.
The lawyer is talking.
There's a fundamental breach in this case. You know, he knew and he didn't disclose it. That's one of the bases of the marriage. So the one of the legs is out. So if the woman, after learning the fact, decides to stay, that's her choice. But she can walk away because it was built on deceit. The guy knew what was going on, and you know. Say that again.
So go ahead.
So to me, it's very simple. The marriage is out. The woman can leave, and that's it.
So the woman can let her go.
Yes, if she decides to. But if she, decides to stay in the marriage, it's her own.
Okay. Chris, let's assume you have powers to decide for this woman. What would you do?
He will pack her load now. He has already told you.
It's built on deceit, so the woman can leave.
He will help her pack her load.
Yeah. So if I were in her shoes, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but it's hard to decide.
This kind of deceit is not
it's a fundamental breach.
And this kind of deceit can swing both ways. It's just like a woman is walking about without a womb, but if she doesn't tell you, you would know. So, in other words, Onyem is saying that if his woman decides to enter the marriage without a womb and he finds out eventually, he's going.
There are two
because
issues.
there's no way she would have issues with fertility and she would say she doesn't know.
If she doesn't know from the get-go, so
it's
if he doesn't
thing.
know from the get-go, by the time he finds out, as soon as you find out, disclose it to your partner. Yeah. So if you find out today, tell her, hey, look at what's going on.
If there was a disclosure, we won't be having this conversation, Abifi.
Exactly.
This is the secret part. So this is somebody who refused to disclose.
Yeah, it goes to the heart of the relationship. So I think it's void. It's nothing.
Okay, thank you. We have Neka. Do you want to say something?
The thing is, it's a very sensitive topic. Most times it's not that they don't want to disclose, but the embarrassment, the self-image, and they will lose confidence. So it takes maturity, honestly, to really put the blame on someone that doesn't want to talk about it. But then again, for the woman, it's up to her to decide to stay or not. If it's someone on second marriage or so, she can, agree to look past it, depending on her level of maturity, if she can deal with it. But it's really not something you can blame the man for not staying. It's not an easy thing to deal with.
Okay, this what you just said now. If it's a woman of the other partner has been on a second missionary or third missionary journey, they can decide to overlook it. Okay, I'm sure you weren't here when we had the last show a few weeks ago about trust. Are you overlooking and still trusting that person, or are you just accepting it as your calling?
Yeah, if it comes up eventually that the man did not disclose it initially, if it comes up along the line, she can decide to just deal with it and live with it. That's it.
Okay, thanks for your view. So they should stay, I think, invariably. That's what you just said.
If she has that sense of maturity to stay, she can.
Or Jesus mind. They call it Jesus mind.
Because in life now, it's not everyone that is into marriage for children. So if that's the line she's still
chosen.
But in this case, let me bring you back again. In this case, having the childlessness was an issue, and the woman blamed herself forever.
And so I'm sure other people blamed her, not just she wasn't just blaming herself. She would have collected
which means
everywhere.
She's not in acceptance, which means she does not want to follow that line of childlessness.
Okay.
Yeah, because she's already upset that it wasn't disclosed. So it's up to her to know if she can continue with the deceit or not.
Okay, thank you very much.
But what I struggle with is using the term deceit, because it's something that somebody may want to say it, but embarrassed to say it.
So it's not that you deceive me now.
Yeah.
Stop talking nonsense. Are you a lawyer? You still deceive me. You want to say it, but I don't know how to say it.
Yeah. I agree with Neka, but the thing is, embarrassment comes in different forms. But in a bid to be transparent, someone like me might not tell you face to face. I'll send it as a message.
Text message.
Yes. Or write it down and leave for you to read. Somehow, because by doing that, I would have also freed myself.
Okay.
It's not easy to carry such things also. Such weighty matters, it's not easy for people. So the person that hasn't told you is inevitably being punished.
I think we're going to have another topic which says dealing with things you cannot say, because that's everything people have been saying here. Dealing with things you cannot say. This one is what you know you can say and you don't want to say. Okay. Ati is here.
See,
can you?
I'm gonna take a step back, with what Doki said, Sister Neka said. Now, if this person who could not say it due to embarrassment could sit for years and let somebody else take the blame for something they did not cause and still didn't say anything, found out accidentally. You see, there are many layers. If it was something that just, I stole something and then you're asking, I'm just too embarrassed to say it. Okay, I went to your pocket and took out 20 pounds because I was short of money. And when you ask, I just didn't say it. I know it's 20 pounds is not too much of a big deal for you. That's not a problem. But this is something that you wake up with this person, sleep with them, the level of distress it causes them to be in that shoes that you know that invariably 50% of it was your fault and you refuse to address it over years. That is what that's what I'm saying about full disclosure. That is the part that doesn't sit comfortably with me. It's not about them having a problem. Absolutely, everybody has got a problem. See, the thing is about us understanding it in the context of a problem. But the issue is about living with someone who could bear for me to be that level, experience that level of distress, despite knowing that they could do something to alleviate my distress. And that is what I couldn't live.
So that brings us back to that deceit. That's the word, deceit. Thank you.
This one is a korokoro deceit.
It's a korokoro one. No, do you want to add something to it?
Oh, hi everybody. It's not much to add. I'll bounce.
I trust you.
In contrary to what you're bouncing, Rosemary said something. Rosemary said in the comment that she will advise the lady to stay there and work things out while you're bouncing.
If you let me stay there and I choose a man of my own, I choose a man that will make me pregnant, and then you can pretend to be the father, then that's fine. Because if I want children and you can't give me children, I'll get somebody else. So if you deceive me, I'm not going to deceive you. I'm going to tell you, do you want me to choose a man? We'll both choose a man that I like, that will make me pregnant. And then we will call you daddy. Because you've deceived me for so many years and caused me so much stress. And if you don't want me to go, you want us to work it out. Because we can't work out, you give me baby because you can't do it. I want children. And so if you want me to bring the baby home and we'll call you daddy, fine. If not, then I bounce.
Yeah, I was going to say that, Rosemary joined in the middle. So I'm not even sure her advice is based on the gravity of what's on ground. She just felt, okay, it was a secret that the man didn't know. Okay, sorry, that the man didn't tell. But
Rosemary, do you want to say something then?
Now that you understand what it is.
Okay, good evening, ladies. Good evening, everyone.
Okay, good to have you again.
Nice to be here. So what I would say really is, first, is it that the situation is not redeemable? Is it that there's a condition that cannot be solved? Yes, I joined in the middle, so maybe I don't really get the full picture.
Okay, hold it there, Rosemary. Just one line. A man hides his fertility problem, impotency, from the woman while she suffers and blames herself for childlessness in the marriage. Now the secret is out. Should the couple still remain together?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not really a medical person, but if it's impotency, like full impotency, nothing can be done.
Complete one.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I would still say they should stay. I mean, they are married. There's a place for forgiveness, never married. That's what I think. I'm not married, so I don't know. Maybe somebody will say, yeah, it's easy for you to say, but I would say
I will not say that. I will not say
it. When you marry, we'll revisit the topic.
So I would probably just say she should stay back. They'll work things out, probably adopt children or something. And then the man will, I don't know, he has to redeem himself somehow. There's a way to redeem himself. He has to redeem himself somehow for making the woman go through that emotional torture. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. So he has to redeem himself somehow. If he has to maybe put her in one business that will make her a better person or help her grow or something, just has to redeem himself somehow and make her happy. So I think they can work things out and maybe adopt kids or something. That's what I think.
There's something, Rosemary, what you just said now sounds like what conversation I had off camera with some other person. He said if there's money, if the man has complete money, I'll stay, I'll forgive and stay. That's what you just said, compensate the woman for. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so at least something comes before emotion or over emotion. Yeah,
you know why
go on, Oche. Oche, go on.
Okay, why I admire Rosemary's stance. She made a statement. She said she isn't married, so she's not one to say. Okay. You know, at the end of the day, even Onyem can testify that in the US, I don't know about other places, they can sue you for pain and suffering. Okay. We are talking about emotional torture. What really can this man give you to compensate for that? And everybody has different levels, okay? Different pain threshold, different avenues and different ways of handling things. So what this artist that I'm seeing here, that is Kakaraka, says she will bounce, then is it me that would stay? And you know the thing, when people say stay and work things out, are you going to stay and be the same person? Or you're going to stay and be punishing him and punishing yourself? Those are two different things. Because you can afford to stay, but you know that this marriage is over. You know that you are now living with a flatmate. Then the day you want to, you cook and give him. The day you don't want, I beg, I'm tired. Then any day you're very happy and you cook and you give him, the man is eating with fear. So would you say you worked things out?
No.
I mean, so why would you say that is me? I'm trying to dissect it and look at it from every angle.
I like what Rosemary said something to you, Noju. He said, how are you sure you'll experience a better one when you go elsewhere? You might go to another one that will hide and they keep hiding and hiding and hiding.
And what makes you think I'm going to walk out to end up with another man? What makes you think? Okay, fine. William, please say something.
Sorry, this issue is very simple from the question you asked. You know, all these variations, all these twists is just, we're not asked to advise the party what to do. Yeah, that's when morality comes into question. It's clear he hides. Let's look at the word carefully. He hides. So he has the intention, he has the malice to deceive right from the get-go. Yeah. And one of the reasons, or one of the of entering into the marriage is to consummate. If you cannot consummate the marriage, the court can annul the marriage. The marriage is void ab initio. Yeah. What happens if you decide to stay, if you decide not to stay? It's a different ballgame. And I don't think that's what we are asked to decide. So we can bring emotions all we care. There's no marriage in the first place. The guy didn't come with a clean hand. There's no justice. Yeah, he who seek equity must do equity. So if he deceives the woman, this is like maybe they are in their 20s when they got married. So by the time they reach to 40, you're now, admitting that you are impotent right from the get-go. That was a real deception. I don't think anybody would take it. You have ruined somebody's life. Okay, Chris, that was a point. So marriage. Yeah, what you just said now is leading on to the next question nicely. Do you think the man can justify keeping that secret? There is no justification. From your end? We can try to reason, there is no justification. People say it's difficult to admit, is this, but you have been tormenting this lady. You have been making her feel like she is a curse. You know how we do in Igbo society. We always think if we can't have children, it's a woman. We never looked at the man. Yeah. So all you have to do is to call your wife and say, hey, see the situation. I don't know if it's treatable, if we can, get medical attention, medical help. You can explore it right from the get-go and see. If the woman decides to say, oh, I'll stay with you, and then we can adopt, then your conscience will be free. But all along, I've been living with a stranger.
I agree with you.
So if we are saying, oh, the woman should do this, you can't meet somebody else outside, it's a different ballgame. You can always meet or you cannot meet, but it's a different ballgame. Let's just clear the air here. The man,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chris.
I agree with you because I have a family member whose wife, before they got married, she had fibroid. Okay. She didn't even know. In fact, the day she went to the hospital and they told her, and then the doctor told her that she needs to have them removed and that it might affect her fertility. She called this family member of mine and told him immediately, and he said, okay, no problem. She was like, did you hear me? I didn't just say I have fibroid. I understand that it might make it difficult for me to get pregnant. The doctor says all hope is not lost, but there's a possibility that we might not be able to have kids. And he says he doesn't mind. She called me, told me, immediately she told me, my first question was, have you told him? And she said, yes. And he says he wants to go ahead with the marriage. And they went ahead, This is their 8th year in marriage. They don't have a child yet, but they are having hopes. But the man is not feeling bad. In fact, she is still the one worrying. The man feels okay if it comes, fine. In fact, her mother-in-law even called her recently. She still called me to tell me that her mother-in-law said, why is she disturbing herself? That there are a lot of children out there looking for love.
There's no secret in this man. Everything is that is full disclosure.
Exactly. So he chose to go into it. And she told him even before they got married. Okay. So like Onyem said, this is an information that you have and you chose to keep it. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. How about now?
Okay. Neka, putting you again back on here, given your earlier statement, do you think the man can justify keeping that secret?
Getting your question right, he kept it secret and he did not explain to the woman. So how did it come out eventually?
Somebody that knew about it eventually told the woman, and they went for medical test. The man eventually was forced to have a medical test.
Yeah, then at that point the woman has the grounds to be upset. But she should not have blamed herself if she herself has gone to test and know that everything is right with her. So she must have been looking for where the fault is from.
You know how it is, that we're in the modern world. There's people who are still in that modern world, but they don't have that courage, and the men are still in charge. I'm okay, there's nothing wrong with me. I have erections morning, afternoon, and night. I'm not going for any medical test. I've seen marriages like that, and the issue is there until the day the woman would get pregnant and be happy. That's when it will come out. So it's not safe. In this case, not safe that the woman hasn't been asking, let's do something, let's try something. But because the man has, there's an, Chris, do you want to help me? There's a legal word where you make people feel sorry for themselves. Well, hey, there's this word I want to use. Lawyers use it a lot. Chris.
Yeah.
Where you make somebody think they blame themselves. Actually, that's another English dictionary. Anyway, there's something strong word I want to use. Right? It's not coming here now. Where you make people, you're the cause of the problem, but you make every effort. And manipulation, inspired manipulation. There's another word.
Okay, guilt tripping.
Don't worry, you'll teach me the English later. Reverse psychology. Fiona, thank you very much. Reverse psychology. So, in that case,
that's what you're looking for.
Yeah, that's not exactly, but that's guilt trip. It's something along those lines. It's something along those lines, which is another big sin. Okay. Is there anyone that wants to add something to this question? The last question we just asked. Can the man justify keeping the secret? I could say something actually. Go on.
Sorry, I'd like to say something. There's no justification whatsoever. because whether we like it or not, we kind of live in a man's world, and it's always the woman's fault. And I think this topic very personal because I've got friends that have been affected by this. My friend's sister was thrown out on the streets in Nigeria by her husband and the family because we'd married for about 4 or 5 years and she had no children, and they called her a man and they called her this and they called her that. And the next month she went, she had 4 children in 4 years.
Wow.
The husband still doesn't have any children.
Hacha.
Another friend of mine, they were rich and they were coming. The man said the doctors in Nigeria didn't know what they were doing. So they're coming to London for checkups, but they never came together. The man will come on his own and the woman will come on her own. And when she let's go together, she says, why? We can't leave the house, we can't leave the business, blah, blah, blah. Until the doctor in England told her once that your husband is the problem and not you.
Wow.
Happens. Yeah.
The husband told her, so there's just no justification whatsoever, none. Absolutely none.
And I've heard about a case.
I've
heard about one case that a lady was, being, should I say, tormented, persecuted for the same reason, until somehow she got involved with an ex and got pregnant, and the husband fled off. He was so insistent that it is not his own. And she was like, how would you know that it's not your own? And that was when eventually the truth came out. And it so happened that even his people that were coming to torment her knew that there was something wrong with their brother. How wicked can a whole community be?
Not the whole community.
No, if his family was in on it and they were tormenting her, as far as I'm concerned, their plan is bad.
Yeah. Plain devil's advocate. The only reason why the young man can justify keeping that secret for that long and making the woman suffer is because he loves the woman. I can't bear to lose you. You're the right woman for me for life. So that way I cannot say something that will make you run away from me. You have in this relationship, I have not heard that they were not progressive, apart from not having babies. There were other things happening in the relationship. They were running their business, growing in financially and otherwise. So if things have worked back on that line, he could justify not telling that woman.
So that love that you have, that undying love you have for me, couldn't push you to tell me the truth, couldn't push you to at least, there's a way you break bad news now. You understand? Even when somebody dies.
Text message.
Not just text message. For example, if you lose someone, they start looking for who would tell you, in a way that you wouldn't feel so bad and stuff. I'm not saying you should go and call people. They haven't known you for a while. You should be able to devise a means, whether it is by taking you to Bahamas or whatever, but he just has to devise a means to tell you. He owes you that.
Yeah,
I don't
telling you what you just said now, telling you is justifying it.
Comes to naught. Yeah, if he decides to keep it from me, then you don't love me.
Thank you, Oche. Thank you. Fiona, do you want to add something? I don't know if you heard what the question is.
No, sorry, I missed it. I missed the question, sorry.
Okay, the question is about a couple who have been together for so long, and the man had fertility problem, impotency, and never disclosed it to the woman. And woman kept blaming herself for childlessness in their marriage. When the secret came out, did you think they should have still been together?
It depends. It all depends on a lot of factors, really. It depends on how the lady has been, is being treated in the relationship. You understand? Is the man being mean to her in any way? Is the man's family not being nice to the girl? So it all depends on so many factors, to be honest with you. And it depends on what they want as well as a couple. Do they want to go ahead and adopt kids? Do they want to go and do the IVF? It all depends on these factors. Unless there's something bad about the whole thing, making it difficult for them to, maybe the man didn't tell the woman about it or lied about it, something like that.
Fiona, that's the point there. He hid it from her and the woman blamed herself for the childlessness in that marriage until this secret came in the open.
Oh, okay.
Should they still be together?
I won't.
No, okay.
I will not. I will not.
You're going immediately.
Because why would you hide it from me? If there's a problem, that is why we're together. You should have told me from the beginning that there's a problem, so we can start looking for solutions for the problem on time. Do you understand what I mean? Because if you don't tell me on time, it becomes a problem. Why would you hide such a thing from me to start with? Because you know the thing about this whole baby thing is always the woman that bears the brunt of all the things. So if anything happens, they will think is the lady that is a problem. So no, I won't. I will go. Sorry.
Okay, so do you
think...
you'll
go. Fiona says she will go. After saying it depends.
Fiona won't even look back. That's what you just said now. Fiona, do you think the man can ever justify keeping that secret? Now that we know, and he comes to justify, give reasons, do you think
what would
he has
say?
any justification?
What would he actually say? How would you justify this? For not telling me, and you knew about it and you didn't tell me.
I love you so much. I don't want to lose you. And you're the best thing that happened to me in my life.
Love doesn't work like that. Love does not hold back or hide things. No, love doesn't do that. I know. I should believe that.
The love you know.
The one I know, exactly.
Thank you very much. Playing the devil's advocate here.
You like to do that a lot. You'd like to play devil's advocate.
What can I do? Life no balance. Maybe we tilt from that to the end. Again, what I'm going to say is obviously linked back to our previous show on DNA. Now, if it was the other way around, a woman has had this child in this family, should the man go? And it comes out from the DNA that, yes, you're not the father. Should the man go? He's capable of having his own children. There's no fertility issue for him. He can do. He can born. What's your view? Neb, what do you think? Ati?
I don't understand your question.
If the woman go carry belle, born pikin, and never talked about it in the house.
Yeah.
And the man is capable of doing and giving baby. Yeah. Right? When it comes out, something happened that there's a DNA and they found out that you are not the father. Should the man leave the marriage?
That's his choice.
But we are talking about deceit now. That's another form of deceit.
There's another form of deceit.
It's simply deceit from the other gender.
I'm saying it from like as a woman that has been scorned, I understand that. But if a man is with a woman that has deceived him, you know, if she wants to go, because some men take it, some men don't. I don't know. So I won't speak for a man, but any man that wants to stay with a woman that's got children, find that man for him, then that's fine. But most men, because I know them again, most men that have women that have children are not theirs is because they're not capable of having them, but they will not want to admit it. I know people that have children that are not theirs, but they bring them up as theirs because they cannot make children.
They just shut up. Okay.
They just keep quiet because it
in
says,
this case, we are assuming he can, he's capable.
I will leave.
That then same thing, yeah.
If there are many things to consider. Number one, it depends on was the woman raped to get that child, then she hid it from the husband and then carried the pregnancy. Because there's no hard and fast rule, or will you live with? Because the man will have to consider, has she been good? How many years have they been?
Did she mention the rape?
The rape,
she came up and pretended that.
That's another thing. Not everyone is.
That will make it difficult for the man to even think about. If he was aware that, okay, at some point my wife was molested, but I don't even know that there was a fallout. It's also a different ballgame. But you come home, pretend, I mean, who else are you supposed to be vulnerable with?
But
who else are you supposed to tell?
You don't, not most people do not talk about such things that hurt them. It's hard to get people to voice out.
It's hard to, yes, many people are not verbally expressive, but there are things that you just have to find a way.
Okay.
This is marriage we're talking about. Okay, go ahead, Onion.
Yeah, simply I will walk. There's no stretch it too much, talk about it. I will walk. Yeah,
based on the secret kept.
If she was raped, and you come back, you tell me, come, what is love? He said, oh, because I love him, I didn't want him to leave me. That's not love. If you love that person, be truthful. Love is true. So if you were raped, you come home, you tell me on the day it happened.
Exactly. And I'll give you maximum support.
Then we can go to see a doctor and know what to do. You can't come after 2-3 months when your stomach is out, or after the child is born and all those things. You're telling me you're raped. Come on and stop.
Because as far as I'm concerned, we shouldn't, this is, if you start to say, what if she was raped? What if this, what if that? It has entered double standards.
No, from the question.
What is applicable to the man should be applicable to the woman.
Yeah,
yes, you may have been a victim of rape, but it still boils down to deceit, because you deceived me that all was well with you.
No, it can't be rape anyway. We're just trying to stretch it. It can't.
It can't be rape.
Neka. Yeah. I think you're being very humane, or very
Neka is very
accepting things. Yes.
No, because
like secret.
No, because when you go for counseling, you see a lot of people that have so many things.
That's why we don't do counseling.
They don't talk about. They will never disclose it.
You know, for the interest of people listening, no matter how hard it be at that time, the best thing is for you to have full disclosure with your partner. That she's the only person.
It should be just that one person.
Yeah, and take the consequences there and then deal with it.
And the truth is, sorry, Onyem, the truth is, if your partner knows your kind of person, because there are people that are easily embarrassed, there are people who are very, very shy, and I believe that he already knows. You don't even need to tell him, please let this remain between us. There are things that even he himself would not be willing to discuss. So if you are with someone and you don't feel that comfortable, you don't feel that secure to discuss such things, everybody has things that they don't want to talk about, that they went through at some point. And even if they talk about them, they also have some part of it that they've reserved, okay? But at the end of the day, there's that one person. You don't tell me as your wife or your husband, then you go to counseling and be telling the counselor.
But in marriages, a time will come when from argument, the man will say, is it not what you did? That's how you got raped.
We are arguing.
It happens.
It doesn't always follow.
Yes, that's a different issue. We're going into delving into, we can stretch this and have variations. That's a different issue. Feeling that way. Remember, in law, there's something, we have spousal privilege. If I go and steal and commit murder or anything and come back and tell you as my spouse, I might prevent you from testifying on that in court, against me in court. So that's how to show you that you have this, leeway to discuss every issue with your spouse, and you are protected. So there's no reason you were raped. Come on, tell me. We can handle it together. If I truly love you, we can weather any storm together. So don't say, oh, because you love me and all this, I'm not going to tell you that I was raped until 6 months later when your stomach is out, or maybe 19 years later when the baby is grown to a man. Somehow I stumbled into the information. Then you claim love. That's a lame excuse.
Okay.
Tell me we can handle it. There's nothing love cannot conquer.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Sorry, I bet to disagree there, sir. Love sometimes is deceiving. You might come and tell somebody, I got raped or anything to your husband. Trust me, not everybody will take it the same way you think they would take it. Some spouse might take it lightly.
Let me tell you, Fiona, that's not love then. There's no love. When I say true love, it's true love. If your partner cannot, roll with you in situations like that, there's no love.
So how do you
the
define
love
love?
is not coming under test. If you haven't tested it,
how do you define love?
I tell people you cannot define love. People say, oh, love is this. No. No, there's nothing.
I agree with Chris. That's where that true love comes into play. A lover or that person that loves you, and I'm not talking about lovers because there are lovers everywhere. That person that truly loves you, if they cannot stand by you, that means they don't love you. And that's where you find true love in friends, not even people you share your bed with. So those people who can genuinely stay by you and understand what you're going through, those are the people that love you. But I think the misunderstanding is when
is the only person that you can actually, for me, that I can actually go and tell something and the person will not use against me is my mother. That is the only person. Through thick and thin, your mother would protect you.
Not all mothers.
The same thing with spouses, because we're here talking about spouses. The same thing. What goes for mothers is the same as spouses. No matter how you think this person loves you, die. He would still or she will still gas you up when he wants to, or use against you when they want to.
Fiona, unfortunately, you are right. That's the reality. That's the reality. But what we're trying to say, you cannot love what you don't trust. Because if you don't trust your partner, if you have reservation, come on. I know we get into marriages or relationships because of one reason or the other.
Thank you.
It's very, very sincere, very genuine, you can trust that person.
When is it going to happen? If you go into a relationship with somebody or marriage with somebody for a reason, you will still be skeptical about the kind of things you tell the person. And I've known people that have been married.
In reality,
yes, in reality.
I agree with you. I said, unfortunately, that's the reality. But it's not how it's supposed to be. So that's why when people mouth love, I love you, until that love is tried and tested. Earlier in the program here, somebody said, if you have money, if you are not staying because you love, you're staying because you want to.
Money.
So that's not love again. You can equally go out tomorrow and start doing your own thing and just stay in the relationship because of the money.
Yeah, we have Mwapa here, all the way from Dubai.
Ooh.
Pam, 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 pam.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, I can't come in with the camera.
That's why. I'll tell them the Dubai if you do.
First of all, my glasses doesn't even have any handles. I'm just holding it with my hands. And I just finished packing and
Is that how bad the group was?
Can you just put in a word on today's topic where they've hidden their secret about infertility? The man and the woman kept crying and killing herself over the childlessness in the marriage. Do you think it's safe to remain in that relationship, or should the woman leave that relationship once the secret is out? And can the man justify keeping that secret?
I think the only justification is insecurity. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to feel like a failure that they can't impregnate a woman, or they can't get pregnant, or they have a disabled child or something. So it comes with a certain level of insecurity. I think in today's world, it's so easy to find out. If a woman can, procreate, all she has to do is go test herself. She doesn't even have to, go with her husband, test yourself. And if you're okay, then you probably know it's the man, and vice versa. The man can test it, or they can come together and, go check out themselves and everything. But if it's a secret that went on for a very long time and nobody did anything, I'll blame both of them. And for me, they will have to decide whether they want to stay together. There are so many options to get pregnant. You can adopt, you can, do in vitro, you can do surrogacy. But if it's a secret on either side, I don't think it's fair because it comes with so much emotional baggage. You know what I mean? And when somebody feels they can't attain a certain level of something that they really, really want, you know what I mean? The emotional baggage is so much. It goes into depression, anxiety, and all kinds of mental health.
So waka or stay for you? Waka or stay?
That's what I'm saying. It depends. It depends on what their decision is. I don't think I'll go. Men lie all the time. Women lie all the time. So you know what I mean. So I don't think I'll go because of it. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a discussion, but depending on the discussion, assuming the woman finally found out it's the man's fault, or vice versa, and the other
it's the man's fault. This case, IJ.
Okay, it's the man's fault. Okay,
it's the man's fault, and he hid it. He did it all the way.
Okay, he did. Okay, so she has to make a decision whether she wants to stay or go. And if she decides to stay, they have to, if she really wants kids, they can go through the options of, like I said, surrogacy, adoption, and etc. And if then when he says no and he's adamant about it, then she can walk. Yeah, I'll walk. If I really want kids, I'll walk. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody even asked me my opinion on this matter, Seth. Now what?
No, I was going to come to you. I had to ask Ijoma because she is on the move. So I wanted to get her own.
Ask me now. I'm in a hurry.
So at the end of the day, she would walk. So you, Mom.
Will I stay or will I walk?
Walk out or stay?
He lied, Abby. I'm not in hostage. I'll stay.
And deal with him.
Hey, you go there. I'll punish it. We'll be there together.
I know you now. That was what I was saying. When people were saying work things out, do this, do that, I said, are you going to work things out and be a human being or be a beast?
We'll stay. We'll stay for the family, probably. Maybe Mama will be begging me for my bikono. We'll stay. But that doesn't mean my life stays. I'll still live my life because he has taken away a part of my life. And talking about the earlier conversation about love and marriages, no disrespect to marriages, but that is not where you find the best test, if there's any word like that, of love. There are people it's working for, and I see a lot of lies in that marriages. And when women stay to tell you there's something you don't tell your husband. Then, but you go out there and tell the whole world, I can tell everything to my husband. You cannot, because there are things you don't tell them. So that's where that lie sticks. Like Ijoma said, men lie, women lie. It's true. So if you cannot tell that person that thing, it's not there. Well, I found that true love comes from true and genuine friends.
Yeah.
It could be same sex or opposite sex, but relying or living your life believing that is where you're going to get it from marriage. In our share, it's not true. It doesn't work that way.
No, but Mama, your analysis, now you're digressing. Okay. Yes, there are things I would always tell my friends, but I'm not married to these friends. I'm not hoping to have kids with these people. So he should be held accountable.
To tell his wife.
Yes. This is a very direct case, a very sensitive one. And there are no two ways about it. We can't cut corners in any way. It's on him.
So we're all going. All of us are bailing.
I'll stay.
She's already staying. See where she is now.
She can't even believe herself.
I'll stay because I understand how difficult it can be for a man to.
No, nobody is asking you not to stay. Like I keep saying, until it is he who wears the shoe that knows where it pinches. Okay. I haven't been in that situation. I might even also toe Neka's line and say I would stay. But would I be the same person? I am not sure. And do I want to go through that? Do I want to stay and be punishing myself?
If I may cut in, I think you have a sense of you'll be relieved. Because for all these years, if I'm correct, I know I tuned in late. For all these years, you've been thinking, I can't have a baby. Now you finally have an answer why you can't have the baby. And it's not your fault. So the first thing you're going to feel is relief. Then after relief, the next thing you're going to do is start looking for options if you want to stay. So us Africans, I doubt most of us will leave. You know what I mean? They'll probably find, try to figure out what to do, or many women now, they act pregnant and after 9 months they have a baby, whether it's theirs or not. It happens every day.
Yeah. So in all these, yes, I would be relieved. But to be honest with you, before I think about options, the next thing is to cry.
You can't trust that person anymore.
No, the next thing is to cry because I'll be angry.
You cry all the time anyway.
Of course, you cry.
Of course.
You're mad.
you cry all the time.
No, before we get to options, my reaction has to come first.
Of course, it's not true.
Yeah, I'll be relieved, then
Okay,
I'll
the
cry.
crying is not part of it. We know it's a standard for you. You will cry. I'm going to
How can we talk about things like this? That's Oche crying.
cry.
Exactly.
Oche,
So
there's
I
something
smell a
that
gang
Ashley
up.
said
Yeah.
earlier. Ashley said earlier,
How can I
that she may
absolutely not.
she may consider staying on the condition that we appoint my own man who will help
That
us
would
have
be-
babies. Which is not an option.
I'll probably think like that too. Yeah.
But is that an option?
For me, yes, I will probably think. I don't know if you want to go there, but I'll probably opt for that. Yeah.
IJ, there's no probability for you. You will tell
Yeah,
him,
man.
so can I take care of myself?
Exactly. Do you mind? I am
I'm going to call you daddy and shut up. Anyway, thank you everyone. Is there anyone that has anything to add? We are enjoying this conversation. I don't even want it to end, but it's over 1 hour. In the absence of any other thing to add to this topic, there are many of us out there who are going through this problem. Some of them have got their heads above water. Some of them are drowning into it. And some are just still trying to decide whether they're up or down. I wish you well, whatever you decide and however it works for you. Life, no balance. Let's try and make ourselves happy, and we don't know when it's happening. People keep dying and dropping dead like no man's business. Next week, please join us at the same time. We're having another Nollywood actress. Let me not say who, but you'll find out within the week by the time.
The suspense.
No, it's a lady you would love to see. It's a lady wow. I love her as well, but I'll tell you more about her. You'll find out before Saturday. Thank you very much.
Are you going to whisper it to me later?
Hey, Ducky. I want me to break my oath of office, innit? So be a part of next week. We're still on the show. We're going offline.
Thanks,
so you can tell us when you want to go.